Hello, welcome to Akron Local News. I'm George Carter, and as you know, we paint positive images of our people every day. Today, this is a particularly good example of what's going on in Akron as far as Black History Month goes and some of the fine artists that we have. I'd like to introduce you to Danny Radcliffe. How are you, Danny?
Oh, real good.
Good. Now, Danny is a prime example of one of the exquisite artists that we have here in town, and we're here to show you some of his work and how you can get in touch with him and perhaps acquire some of his work. So we'll start off down here at the beginning of the table, and Danny will explain to us what we're looking at here.
Okay, everything that I brought with me to share with you are oil paintings. And I love doing miniature paintings because the production, my ability to produce in a reasonable time span and put an enormous amount of impact is very much so doable with miniature paintings. Now, what I have here are all, for the most part, they're probably about 8 by 10 size-wise. And what we have here, these two first images are images of Summit Lake. The one on your left is called Peace, and the one on the right is Joy. Of course, they're both on the exact same location, and one, of course, is in the evening painting, and one is a daytime painting. I just wanted to bring something that I do that represents the community and a location that we're familiar with. The paintings were actually done directly from the dock where I painted them on location.
Okay. Now we have two children here. Tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, now the two children are my youngest, boy and girl, Daryl and Candace.
That's awesome.
And I create photographs directly from most of the things that I do. I do my own photography. This particular piece here is called Got Daddy's Clippers. So in their hand, they're actually holding a pair of my clippers.
That's awesome. So a lot of your work is done from very familiar things that you are painting.
Yeah, most of my subjects are people that I'm familiar with, mostly family and or locations that are relatively common to people who are familiar with being in Akron.
That's awesome. So you could probably then contract work for someone that would want a portrait or something like that, maybe a family reunion or...
Yeah, absolutely. I have several family reunion paintings that are quite large, and I have two particular pieces called Celebration Reunion and Generations of Love. And these pieces will be easy for you to find on my gallery site. You can look me up on RadcliffeArt.com. And the name of the gallery site itself is Radcliffe Artistic Enterprises.
Okay. Radcliffe Artistic Arts Enterprises.
Radcliffe Artistic Enterprises is the name of the gallery site.
I see.
But you can find it either by that name or RadcliffeArt.com.
Excellent. Okay, now, for example, this one. We'll take a look at this. And again, this is a female image, quite colorful and very, very in-depth.
Yes, this piece is mother and son. I actually have maybe several images of mother and son in a small format such as this.
Okay.
And then a portrait that I'll show you. This is my wife and my oldest son. We were actually sitting on the wall of which was once a public swimming pool right outside of the zoo, Akron Zoo.
Okay,
where the tennis court is.
Yes, I know exactly.
They used to have a pool there. We were sitting on the edge of the pool when I photographed that image.
Okay. Okay, and very in depth, as I say. I mean, you can see all sorts of detail, and if you're familiar with the area, you could go right back to that spot and probably still
Well,
see
it's
it.
more of a reminisce now because all of this was just completely wiped out when they began to upgrade the
I
zoo.
see.
So
Okay.
this is more memorabilia now in terms of what was once there and what was once a part of Akron.
Okay, and then this one, for example, what do we have here?
Now this is grandma and grandson.
Again, your family?
Yes, still family.
Okay.
They're standing in front of an old style school car called Buick Roadmaster. And this was one early afternoon after church.
Okay.
We were all in our best and we were posing for me as I forever like to create images from my own photography.
Okay. So now I'm really interested in the fact because I have a lot of mirrors in my house, so I don't mind looking at myself.
Yeah.
So if I brought you in a large picture and say I wanted an image, a life-size image of myself, you could actually do that. I could hang it over my mantle.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of my favorite things to do. I spent time studying exclusively the art of formal portrait painting.
Okay.
And I love doing portraits, either from photographic references or from live poses, which is really my best way to create a work of art.
Okay.
There's nothing more powerful than to see the result being created right before you and to see the realism come to life from the human hand.
Exactly.
So, and this is something that I try to and love to be able to demonstrate to people as often as I have an opportunity to.
That's excellent.
That would be something that I aspire to for anyone who's interested in having portraits done.
Okay. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your background as far as how did you come into being such a fine artist?
Well, relentless pursuit for the love of being an excellent artist.
Okay.
And so much of my decision on what brings me to the level of my skill set is really family and people who I grew up with. We were always told that for an African American, you need to be way better than the Caucasian competition in order to even be able to be acknowledged. So that was always a mindset for me, is to be the best that there is in whatever I do, so that there's no question about my stance in the professional realm of art.
Well, you seem to be extraordinary in exemplifying that. Now, does this come with any education, or were you just a natural at this? How did?
Well, yeah, of course, I was a naturally gifted artist.
Okay.
And for that reason, that inspired me to pursue education.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be more than just a natural artist. I wanted to be a master skill in my craft.
Okay.
And that's where I stand now. And that brings me to bring up the idea of education, which is something that I'll inspire to for those who are interested in understanding and pursuing a master skill based on my education, which for the most part I studied the old school methods. Now, it's a very disciplined form of art, and it may look like the results that you want are challenging, but there's a systematic way in which you can break down what you do to compartmentalize the difficult parts of things so that they become much easier to accomplish. And this is something, I mean, it's a lot of words, but it's something that's not that complicated once we get into a platform of education.
Correct.
I teach how to compartmentalize complicated subject matter so it's easier to tackle. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be easy to do, but it does mean that you need to commit your energy to getting the results so that you can be that artist. It's something that I spent time to do.
Right.
You know, it's a commitment. I spent years of studying the human figure.
Mm-hmm.
So
you do actually instruct people on their art skills and to elevate their skills?
yeah, absolutely. I studied at Cleveland Institute of Art, Cooper School of Art. I studied on the West Coast while in the Navy.
Okay.
At San Diego City and Community College. The Navy gave me the freedom to pursue school for hardly any money. So that was a love for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I took advantage of opportunities for education and opportunities to exhibit art from coast to coast.
That's incredible. Danny, I can't thank you enough for coming down and showing some of the things that you do. And you are an extraordinary artist, and I appreciate you showing us the time and patience to exhibit some of your artwork. And I've seen some others of yours. And again, please remind the audience of your website and how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, Ratcliffe Artistic Enterprises. That's the name of my gallery site. You can reach that with ratcliffeart.com. That will take you to the site. So will the gallery name itself, but the easiest to remember is ratcliffeart.com.
That's awesome. Danny, thank you once again. And audience, it's our pleasure to bring the utmost quality of art and intelligence from our community to you. Thanks once again, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a podcast from the Mega Media Social Media Network.